train the kids for war. Army chic in high fashion stores. Law and order's done their job. Prisons filled while the rich still rob. Assassination politics. Violence rules within our nation's midst. Well, ignorance is their power tool. You'll only know what they want you to know. The television cannot lie, controlling media with smokescreen eyes. Nuclear politicians' pictures show the acting's lousy, but the blind don't know. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes, see the lies right in front of you. Open your eyes.
Hello, on the deprogramming hour tonight, we have some local puppeteers. We're going to do some selections from Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
My name is Candace Burridge.
My name is Kervin Peralta.
Hi, I'm Darnell Winstone.
And Candace, how is this organized, this Alice in Wonderland sequence we're going to see?
It's the Alice and the Caterpillar scene, and we performed it originally at the Lower East Side Festival of the Arts in May at Theater for the New City, and we all puppeteered it together. Michael Sanders, unfortunately, was just doing it with us, but he had to go grocery shopping, so he's no longer here. But we're all puppeteers that work together at the Swedish Cottage Marionette Theater in Central Park.
Excellent. So I think we're going to cut to the performance right now.
Oh dear, I'd nearly forgotten that I've got to grow up again. Let me see, how is it to be managed? I suppose I ought to eat or drink something or others, but the great question is what?
Who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning, but I think I must have changed several times since then.
What do you mean by that?
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
I don't see.
Well, I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly, for I can't understand myself to begin with. And being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
It isn't.
Well, perhaps you haven't found it out yet, but when you have to turn into a chrysalis, you will someday, you know. And then after that into a butterfly, I should think you would feel a little queer, wouldn't you?
Not a bit.
Or perhaps your feelings may be different. All I know is it would feel very queer to me.
You? Who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why? Come back. I've got something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No. So you think you've changed, do you?
I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things as I used to. And I don't keep the same size for 10 minutes altogether.
Can't remember what things?
Well, I've tried to say, how doth the little busy bee, but it came out all different.
Repeat. You are old, Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white. And yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I fear it might injure the brain. But now I'm perfectly sure I have none. Why, I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, as I mentioned before, and have grown most uncommonly fat. Yet you turned a back somersault in at the door. Pray, what is the reason of that? In my youth, said the sage, as he shook his grey locks, I kept all my limbs very supple. By the use of this ointment, 1 shilling a box, allow me to sell you a couple? You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finished the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said the father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife. And the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life. You are old, said the youth. One would hardly suppose that your eye was as steady as ever. Yet you balanced an eel at the end of your nose. What made you so awfully clever? I have answered 3 questions, and that is enough, said his father. Don't give yourself airs. Do you think I can listen all day to such stuff? Be off, or I'll kick you downstairs.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words have got altered.
It is wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
Oh, I'm not particular to a size. Only one doesn't like to change so often, you know.
I don't know. Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It's a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it. I wish the creatures wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time. One side will make you grow taller, and the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
Now which is which?
Hi, welcome back to the Deprogramming Hour. We have the Hominy Club with us, a jazz duo at the moment, whose members are
Neil
and
Steve.
And where do you guys play mostly?
at the back fence on Bleecker Street, 159 Bleecker.
At any particular times?
Mondays, 7 o'clock.
Monday, 7 o'clock. Okay. So let's hear a little bit of the Hominy Club. Take it away.
Exfoliating. First, set up your double boiler. Then add 4 ounces of organic melt and pour soap. Next, grease your mold with a natural balm or oil. When the soap is melted, start adding your ingredients. 1 teaspoon vitamin E oil. 1 milliliter of orange essential oil. 1 teaspoon of strawberry seeds. 1 teaspoon orange peel powder. 1. Stir the mixture together very well. the soap mixture into the molds and let the soap set until it's hard. Oatmeal, milk, and honey soap. First, add white organic melt and pour soap base to your double boiler. Then grease your mold. When the soap has melted, remove it from your double boiler. Add your ingredients. 1 teaspoon of oats, 1 teaspoon powdered milk, 1 teaspoon honey, a dash of cinnamon, a half milliliter of vanilla essential oil, now stir the mixture well. Slowly pour the melted soap into the mold and let it cool and harden before removing it. Star anise and poppy seed soap. Melt 3.5 ounces of white organic soap base in the microwave. Now add 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds and stir. Add 1 scoop of gray mica to the melted soap. Stir it in well. Next, add 35 drops of star anise essential oil. Finally, add 1/4 teaspoon of vegetable glycerin. Stir in all the ingredients very well. Grease your mold. Finally, pour the melted soap mixture into your mold. Let it cool and remove it after it hardens. Lavender and chamomile soap. Melt 4 ounces of white soap base in the microwave. Next, add 2 scoops of blue mica. Then add 1 scoop of red mica. Add 1 teaspoon of chamomile buds. Then stir it well. Now add a half a milliliter of chamomile extract. And 1/2 milliliter of lavender essential oil. Stir the soap mixture to blend all the ingredients. Grease your mold so that the soap pops out easily. Slowly pour the soap mixture into the mold and allow it to harden when it cools.
Okay, welcome back to the Deprogramming Hour. At this point, we're going to go to Jackie Von Haight, who has a movie review. Gee, I wonder whether she will like the movie or maybe she will... Let's see.
My name is Jackie Von Haight, and this is my review of Batman, The Dark Knight Rises. If you haven't seen it yet, stop watching, because I'm going to ruin it for you. It was a waste of time. It starts off good, and goes nowhere. And it just seemed like one big setup for the next movie, and it's not even going to be a next movie. It starts off with Bane, the villain, and it's a really good scene, and I thought the movie was going to really be good. But like all the villains in the Chris Nolan series, he starts off good, and then he gets boring. You just want him to shut up. So he gets to Gotham City, and he terrorizes the city. He takes over, and he targets rich people and cops. He puts all the cops, like all of them, in a cave. And he lets the citizens of the city put the rich people on trial. And it's a big witch hunt. Like, they're on trial, they're always guilty, and their sentence is always to walk on thin ice until they fall in and drown. So then we find out that Bane isn't even the real villain at all. He's whipped by this chick who turns out is Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Remember him from the first one? He was played by Liam Neeson, and Batman killed him. She's avenging her father's death, and she wants to carry out his original plan of destroying Gotham City. And they ruined Bane. Like, he even cries. And so they have this big, giant bomb, and it's gonna blow up the whole city. And then you're like, and there's a timer on it. It's set to go off, like, in a certain amount of time. So they're like, well, why did they waste time, like, or energy, like, killing rich people and putting cops in a cave? They put every single cop in a cave. So, yeah, and it's like, to me, it seemed like an Occupy Wall Street cliche, and I hate cliches. Another thing I hate is cheesiness, and Alfred is so cheesy. He's like whining and complaining and crying through the whole movie. And then he tells this stupid story about how when Batman was away for 7 years, because it comes up later, in the first movie he's away for 7 years and he hoped he wouldn't come back, and he went to Florence every year and he hoped he'd see him there with a wife and kid. Give me a break. Like, how stupid is that? And the fact that he's played by a badass like Michael Caine is like salt in the wound. And speaking of, why the hell is Gary Oldman playing the Commissioner? Like, why is he playing the Commissioner? Like, he's the best actor in that whole movie, and that's what he's doing. But, you know, it's his choice. He didn't have to do it. I don't get it, but whatever. And Matthew Modine is in it, which is weird. No one mentioned him. Does anyone know who he's in? And you know who's good, actually? Catwoman. I forget who she's played by. Who's she played by? Anne Hathaway. She's played by Anne Hathaway. And she's pretty damn good. And her character is good. And her outfits are good. And she plays it really well. And she's a badass. She kicks ass. She was really good. But the ending, oh my god, please kill me. It was so stupid. I'm really big on endings. And we thought Batman was dead. We thought he died saving the city. And then Alfred has to go to Florence and see him there. Give me a break. So stupid. Waste of time.
All right, that's all the time we have for the deprogramming hour. I'd like to thank all of our guests and thank you for tuning in. Manhattan, Brooklyn, people of Earth in general. Good night.